Aloha, my name is Alika with Hawaii Efoil Experience. Today's video is going to be about the safety equipment that we use for our efoil students as well as that we wear on our own. So we'll be covering safety equipment that you can use as a beginner efoiler as well as an intermediate rider. So let's get into it. First thing is the helmet. When we take our students out onto the water, we know there's going to be a lot of falls and there's a potential danger of them hitting the board. And so we want to be able to protect their head. So we use the 888 helmet, along with, you'll see that we have these radio speakers and mics on them so that we can talk to our students. But as a rider yourself, I would say in your first 3 to 6 months, you want to wear a helmet. As you're getting familiar with your efoil board, you want to protect your head and of course, to protect against concussion. These helmets are fantastic. They're great in the water. They have these liners in them that you can change out. And you can also, it helps to dry out the helmet as well, because this is essentially it's a sponge just wrapped in a very comfortable material. And you can dry this out very, very quickly when you have a liner like this. Now, once you get familiar with riding the board, the helmet's no longer necessary, but I have a lot of friends that still wear the helmet just in case they get thrown off the foil. They don't want to get hurt seriously, especially to the head or to the face. The alternate for an intermediate or an advanced rider would be to use a bump cap. So this is the hat I wear. It's just like the ball cap I'm wearing now, okay? And what I have in here is a plastic bump cap that gets inserted into the hat. I'll take this one out for you so you can see. It simply slides in. And that's all it is. Okay, it's made by Ergodyne. As far as all the equipment I want to show you today, we will have descriptions and links in the description to this video below. So if you have any questions, you're going to see how much they cost. They're very inexpensive. I think this bump cap is $9 or $10. The 888 helmet is a bit more, but definitely worth the investment. And all I did was put the bump cap back into the ball cap, and it fits perfectly. It also has some flotation to it, so that when my hat does come off, I can find it floating at the top of the water, as long as it's not too deep in the break. So that's protecting our head. The next bit of equipment that is actually required by Coast Guard rules is going to be your life jacket, okay? You can use an impact vest, but that's not rated to float like the life jacket is, and the life jacket will give you a similar protection to the impact vest. This jacket we got, it's an Airhead brand. We find it's the most comfortable at this price point for multiple jackets that we carry. We carry 12 jackets in our van, and so having a good price point for these are really, really excellent. It also has a pretty cool pattern. This is the blue, this is the black, still made by Airhead, okay? And then we have a pink one inside, as well as a multicolor one for the younger students. On top of this life jacket, we also attach a whistle. This also is required by Coast Guard rules. The whistle is just in case you get stuck out there in the water and you need to call attention to yourself and you don't have any other ways of communication. The whistle will get attention to those nearby, whether they're on a boat, a jet ski, surfing along with you, or on the beach. This actually travels quite a far way across the water. But the life jacket is very, very important, and you want to make sure, we always tell our students, make sure that your life jacket is a comfortable hug. You don't want it to squeeze you, you definitely don't want it to be loose. If it's loose, it's going to ride up on you. It's going to be uncomfortable when you're in the water. Life jackets we wear every time with our students. For the advanced riders or intermediate riders, I normally don't wear my jacket when I'm out surfing on my own, and that's really a choice. You are choosing to go against Coast Guard rules, and then you are choosing to have to swim if you are stuck out in the ocean. Next is our leash. Every student wears a leash. That saves them from swimming. It also saves us from having to fetch the board for our students. And lastly, if the wind or the waves start taking the board away from the student, you can get pretty exhausted trying to swim after your board. These boards move very quickly in a current. So we put leashes on our students. There are many leashes you can use. You can use a regular 8-foot surf leash, whether it's straight or coiled, but we find that this leash here is the best one. This is the shock cord portion of it, and we connect this directly to the handle. And the shock cord it's right about 3 feet and extends to 4 or 5 feet, and that takes the shock out of the fall, so the board's not pulling on you dramatically. And then it connects to a waist belt. This waist belt has this retractable leash inside this housing, and this housing is marine grade, so you won't see any rusting on any of the metal. And this plastic is actually very, very tough, so it can handle a fall. And it has this retractable leash inside that will retract up to 10 feet of recoiled leash in here. And all we do is we connect the shock cord to the retractable leash, and now we've got a good 14 feet of leash, but it only feels like 3 feet when you're standing on the board. So this, if you can imagine, this waist belt is around the waist of the rider, and now this is a straight line. It doesn't tangle around your ankles. It doesn't drag behind the board into the water. It doesn't get stuck around the mast or the foil. And one trick with this, I'll point out, it looks like you should just take this loop and hook in the shackle of the retractable leash, okay? And it looks like it works just fine, but I'll tell you that when you get a hard tug, this will open up the shackle little by little. I can't do it now, but in the water, I've had every board that I connect this way always disconnects after maybe 10 falls, because slowly opens this shackle and this comes out, okay? Instead, best way is to open up that loop, put the entire shackle through the loop, okay? And then open up the shackle and bring the 2 lines of that loop back through the open shackle, just like that. When you do it that way, you actually form a square knot. Okay, it's like a figure 8. And this never has come out. It has never come out for me at all whenever I wear it or when my students wear it this way. Okay? So that's just a little tip on this. Now this leash is made by Blue Planet. Excellent surf shop. They do a lot of foils and a lot of stand-up boards there. Robert puts out a lot of quality videos on how to learn to wing or to windsurf or to sup or to foil. I would tell you this leash is the most expensive leash I've ever bought, but definitely is well worth its money. It's probably 4 times as much as a standard leash, but it's gonna give you easily 10 times the quality, and you're gonna be much happier with this leash. This leash is excellent for all foil boards, whether it's a prone, wing, sup, or the efoil. So this is the leash that we recommend. If you want to use the other ones, they're cheaper and they're going to suit you just fine. But if you ride as much as we do, we also want the quality and the comfort and the reliability that comes out of this leash. Those are the main pieces of our safety equipment that we use. Obviously, there's other safety gear that goes into running a school operation. But as far as riding your efoil, I would tell you, definitely start with the helmet, and you can upgrade to a bump cap if the helmet feels awkward to you once you feel comfortable. Wear a life jacket definitely your first 3 to 6 months until you get proficient with the efoil. If you decide that you don't want to wear a life jacket after that, that's up to you. And last but not least, that's a good pun, not leash, is the leash. Okay, having the shock cord with the retractable or the recoiled leash makes it much easier to be confident riding in surf, being confident riding in chop, being confident riding a long distance. If you get off the board, you know the board's going to be still connected to you, but it'll go far enough distance where you're not going to get hit. If you have any questions on any of this equipment, please leave comments below. If you want to see exactly where we got these, all this equipment was picked up on Amazon. Very easy to pick up yourself, and we'll leave a link in the description below. Please like our video if you see a lot of quality in what we're sharing with you, and consider subscribing. Aloha.